Tonight we're driving my 2024 Ford Ranger Raptor with the Ford Performance ProCal Tune installed. I just got this loaded on today, brought it in the dealer at about 7 a.m. and they gave me a call at about 3 p.m. saying it was ready. I'm not sure why it took that long. I've heard some reports of it taking a little bit less time at home or at some other shops, but maybe this was the first time they'd loaded it on. At about 8 a.m. they gave me a call asking me to create an account online on the Ford Performance website, sent them my login info, and they also performed an oil change on the truck too. So took pretty much all day to get this done at the dealer. They charged me around $250. Let's hop in, let's see how it drives, and I'm excited to see what this can do. This now makes 455 horsepower, 536 pound-feet of torque. I've heard in the past that the Ford ProCal tunes will kind of negate the need for an auto stop-start eliminator, which I actually have installed in this truck. And then I've heard some reports with the new Ranger Raptor that it doesn't remember the last state of the auto start stop switch. So I've just left my eliminator installed. It's in there. I'll let you guys know if I ever unplug it. We're going to start off driving this in normal mode, and then we'll move into sport because there are some different driving characteristics in both drive modes. At least I've tested on the street so far. I only have maybe about 20 miles on this tune so far. You have to run 91 octane or higher. In Michigan we have 93, so there's no problem there. That is something that the service manager mentioned multiple times when I was getting this installed. On initial impressions, the biggest difference that I'm noticing is just a little bit better smoothness from the 10-speed auto. Let's come back to a stop here. You'll see coming off the line, it tends to hold gears a little bit longer under mild acceleration, and shifts are a little bit smoother. It's not a huge difference, but it is noticeable. And then about half throttle, you really start to feel that extra power and torque. The throttle mapping is still nice and linear. It's not too touchy off the line. You can still modulate very easily on light accelerations from a stop. Now at half throttle and wide open throttle, you notice more power. You can feel it. It's not huge, it's not an enormous horsepower bump, but it's definitely there. Let's go into R mode. This is basically sport mode with soft suspension. We are on too high. The traction control is flashing. You do feel a lot of extra grunt on the highway. Yeah, it's healthy. Let's go to manual mode here. Sport mode is smoother. I could see myself daily driving in sport mode a little bit more often with this calibration, just because shifts, even though they do happen quickly, they happen with a little bit less jerkiness, which is really nice. All right, so we are in sport mode right now. Really nice intuitive shift points here in drive. Holding gears nicely around this entrance ramp. like it was cutting power a little bit there under acceleration just because we got some wheel spin. Noticeably better passing power on the highway. Acceleration on this truck did start to fall off at higher speeds, and now it feels nice and healthy. Again, this is still a more mild state of tune. It's not very aggressive. It's not as much of a power bump as you can get in the aftermarket, but it does come with a warranty from Ford Performance. From what I understand with the warranty situation is that you buy this tune, your factory 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain is unaffected. However, if the tune causes an issue, then Ford Performance's 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty covers that issue. From what I've heard, these tunes are very reliable. You don't really have a whole lot to worry about. If you have a dealer that isn't very mod friendly, you could maybe run into some issues, but ultimately they're going to have to kind of prove that the tune caused a problem, and it's kind of up to their discretion. At the end of the day, as long as you get this installed at a dealership or an ASE certified mechanic, you don't really have a whole lot to worry about. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, and for the most part, your 5-year, 6,000 mile factory warranty is intact. Let's go into 4 Auto. Really nice drivability in sport mode now. This feels great. This just drives awesome now. Holds gears really well. The torque is fantastic. The gearbox tuning is just perfect. And power just feels nice and balanced. Back into normal. Also, it could just be me, but it seems like there might be a little bit less exhaust drone. It's hard to tell. That's Baja mode. Ultimately, I think it's worth the around $1,000 install price for this tune. I got mine at a bit of a discount from Lethal Motorsports, and I think a lot of the other websites are discounting the tune as well. You factor in $200 or $300 to install it, I think it makes for pretty good value, especially adding in that Ford Performance warranty. The calibration is really well done. It smooths out the gearbox quite a lot, and it just gives you kind of this perfect amount of power. It's a really nice, healthy balance for the Ranger Raptor. And we'll even drive around with that rear window open. shifts. Yeah, that feels great. That feels really, really good. Also, this is a lifted truck. You're not going to feel extra speed and extra performance in this like you will in a lower, lighter weight vehicle. So that's something to note. This is fun. You guys are getting some of my first impressions here. This is the first time I've really taken this out for a drive. And I'm really happy with it. This is fun. This is nice. Cool. Well, many more videos to come. Any future video in the Ranger Raptor will have this tune enabled, have it loaded. So we'll be making 455 horsepower and 536 pound-feet of torque. Those are good, healthy numbers. 0 to 60 should be in the low 5s. Actually, let's test that out here real quick in this video. You gotta love Baja mode. Yeah, this is kind of the perfect power level for this Ranger Raptor. It just feels about right. Whereas before, it never quite came on power and pulled like I wanted it to. It felt like it should have been a little bit faster. And this is right where I'd want it to be. What else do you guys need to know? I just did a video on this Ranger Raptor talking about my ownership experience, but honestly it was mostly just talking about all the mods that I've done, going into a little more detail about the Braid Beadlock B wheels and a couple other things. Honestly, guys, I am loving this truck as a daily driver, and as a family vehicle, it works really, really well for my needs. Again, I have a 3-month-old and a 3-year-old, both fit in the back beautifully, with just enough space. I'm 5'10", my wife's about 5'5", 5'4", and there's plenty of room behind us for the kids to kind of stretch out. The rear-facing car seat fits behind me and my wife, so we have some options there. I love being able to put my family in the cab and then stuff, mountain bikes, gear, travel stuff, suitcases, etc. in the bed. Having that tonneau cover has been really useful too. Just being able to cover stuff in the bed, keep it relatively dry and protected from the elements and, you know, any prying eyes as well. All right, let's turn off traction control and we'll do a bit of a launch here. All right, we are in 4, we're in 2 high. Let's go into 4 auto. Pretty good. Nice. Alright, so that's sport mode. I might just be dailying this in sport mode. That is a fun drive mode now. To be honest, I didn't really drive much in sport mode before. It was a little bit rough, a little bit jerky, but now it's fun. Let's see what normal mode acts like here too. We're back into 2 high. Yeah, this feels great. And maybe, I don't know if the engine is going to take some time to learn my driving style, adjust parameters and shift points after a little bit of miles get under this tune's belt. For now, this feels really good though. one more quick 0 to 60 here. We'll do this one at 2 high. Feels good. Cool. All right, guys. Well, there you go. That's a video. We will wrap things up here. Thank you so much for watching. Turn traction control back on there so we can re-enable cruise control. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.